Not a bad view to wake up to. So I just looked and there's a wind advisory until tomorrow at 9 p.m. And I looked at the wind speeds. It's supposed to pick up around 9 or 10. Right now, as you can tell, it's not extremely windy. It's like a breezy 5 to 6 mile an hour wind. I'm gonna cook some breakfast and then I'm gonna pack up all my stuff and then I'm getting the hell out of here because I ain't dealing with the wind today. That's the current situation. Anybody ever wondered why come in 2022 these things are still impossible to keep going? Like you put the one in here and then you go for a little while and then it all falls apart towards the end, man. I don't understand that. And it doesn't matter what brand you buy. Somebody explain that to me. Weird, right? So I usually don't spend too much time talking about the exact spots I'm camping, and I definitely never give away the exact spots that I camp for a multitude of different reasons. One primary reason is because I think that it ruins the adventure. I think that you guys have to go out there, you have to find these spots, and that is all part of the adventure. But here's the one thing that I will tell you. This is the one pro tip that I'll give you when it comes to finding perfect campsites just like this. Find a bumpy or sketchy looking road and drive down, because this whole area is filled with people all on the outskirts, all in the normal spots, all doing the same thing everybody else is doing, and all together. Herd mentality. It's kind of what people do. But if you go further back and you find you a road that's kind of sketchy or bumpy, or nobody wants to take their rig down, or they're not too sure about, or there's no other people down, chances are you're gonna find a good spot. My advice is go where others won't. And it usually works out. Look. Isn't that awesome? Aside from that rock right there. That rock looks like it's flipping us off. And you can't see it from this angle, but that rock right there, that's the 7 sailors. If you go on the other side or each side, it actually looks like there's 7 sailor hats, and that's why it's called 7 sailors. And then there's more rocks over there. Rocks. There's a state park up here called Gooseneck State Park, and it looked like it was pretty cool on Google Earth, so I'm gonna stop by there and see what kind of formations are here. Supposedly it's supposed to be like really badass rock formations, which this whole area is filled with that, so I bet it is. We'll see. All right, $5 was worth it. I mean, that's sick, right? Look at that. Just mind-boggling. That's sick. All right, so not the same, but equally as spectacular. Check it out. That's where we just were, right over there. And I'd say that offers the best view. And that's why they charge $5 for it. Gotta admit though, this is a pretty cool spot. Not bad at all. And there's full cell phone service here. Nice spot, man. Well, that was a cool little detour. Now it's time to get back onto the trail. It is about 11 o'clock in the morning, and to around Page, Arizona today. Hopefully we can find a nice little spot to camp up there that's out of the wind, and I can get a little work done on some videos. That would be ideal, but it looks like the wind's going to be dying down in this area tomorrow for sure. So if all else, then I'll be able to do some stuff then. That's the current situation though, just driving through beautiful backcountry on some nicely graded roads, and making my way back to the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route, where I'll then take it down through Monument Valley and all that, end up going into 𝐾𝐈, and then through Page, Arizona. Looks like we're going to be on the highway for a pretty good little bit from here on down into, well, into around Page. Looks like. At least it's pretty. Anybody recognize this spot? I'll give you a hint. A famous man once ran all the way across country and then stopped right here.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
All right, just passed into Arizona. And stop and get gas up here. Looked like it was 420 up here versus 460 back in Mexican Hat. What's crazy is like almost as soon as you cross over into Arizona right here, everything turns to sand. I mean, this, you can see on the right and on the left, it's just mounds of sand, which is wild because it wasn't like that over in Utah, but it is here. Pretty nuts. In this town, they still believe in the boogeyman pretty heavily. It is May 2022. Wild. What it is the entire Navajo Nation still believes in the boogeyman. Pretty wild. Y'all remember how, what was it, yesterday morning? I felt like I was never gonna get off of Lockhart Basin Trail. Now I'm feeling the same way about the pavement. A large stretch of this landmass out here, not a large stretch of it, pretty much the majority of it, is all Navajo land. And that said, you can't just go traversing through Navajo land the same as you can go through BLM land. So knowing your property boundaries is critical out here. I can't stress that enough. Get some kind of a mapping software that has the property boundaries on there. I use Gaia. There's a link down in the description below. Save you a little bit of money on the premium version. Premium version does allow you to save maps offline, so that way you don't have to be connected to the internet in order to use them. That's another critical aspect to any mapping software that you get out here, because there's not any service. Make sure that you're aware of the property boundaries, because again, you can't just go traipsing through Indian territory and expect everything to be okay. I can't help but to think I'm on this dopamine deprivation, and meaning I haven't consumed any social media, no electronic media, no looking on the internet, no listening to radio, no podcasts, no sugary foods, no nothing, none of that. And the idea is to deprive myself of dopamine, therefore it kind of resets my dopamine levels. And there's a lot of good benefits to it. As I drive through some of these places that I'm going through, these are the prettiest places on earth. Like, literally some of the prettiest places on earth. And there's no way that I'm not still getting large amounts of dopamine. I'm just outside the Grand Staircase. The Vermilion Cliffs are off to my left. It is about 2:45. I've been on the highway now since I left, since I left Gooseneck, really, or the Valley of the Gods. And that's been a long way. I just passed over Lake Powell. Now I'm about to take a left up here, and I'll go find a place to camp somewhere around the Vermilion Cliffs. So hopefully I get back on dirt here soon. That's the current situation. I mean, just as soon as I hit the record off button, I got onto dirt road. It's almost as if I spoke it into existence. I'm super happy about it. Although this is a bumpy ass dirt road. I've got no clue as to why this road is as rough as it is, but this is the roughest road I've ever been on in the nation. Holy shit, man. I mean, like, whoa. Alright, it is 3 o'clock. I'm pulling over here. That road's about to drive me absolutely insane. I'm tired. I'm done driving. I'm over it. So, this is the spot. The wind is still going. The road, bumpy as ever. But the scenery, absolutely gorgeous. I've been driving for like right at around 6 hours. This road and the wind combined has got me a little bit irritable. I told you guys yesterday I was tired of the wind, and it's just, it's constant, it's nonstop. I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna reset a little bit. I've got beautiful scenery. I'm right in this little hole. It's not keeping me away from the wind, as you can tell, but right along the road over there, beautiful hills over here. I mean, you really can't ask for a better campsite than this. I want to rest for a little while, and then I'll think about getting up and making some dinner. And that's when I'll get you guys back out. Looking at some stats, I've traveled 226 miles today for a total time of 6 hours and 52 minutes. My average speed was somewhere around 33 miles an hour, which I feel like it was more than that. My average moving speed says it's 43. I don't know. It seems a little bit crazy. I made up some ground today, that's for sure. And a lot of it was on the highway with an average speed of around 65 or 55. This wind is incredible, y'all. I can't wait for it to be over. I think it's going to be over tomorrow. I can say though, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there's no denying that. Man, how the hell are we on multi-million acres of public land, and people want to pull up right next to you at the one campsite that you're at? That never ceases to amaze me, man. Just crazy. These people just pulled up right next and just setting up shop. Wild. Like, seriously. Isn't that crazy? Dude, I have done nothing all day except for make videos and work on videos. Uh-oh. As a matter of fact, my damn shit's about to die. You know what I need? I need one of those like cable tie things. Some cable management, bro. I think that's what I need, because I keep on getting my cables all messed up. My power box is down here, so I'm gonna plug in down there. Leave a comment down below what's some good cable management ideas that I can keep shit from getting all tangled up in there, you know? So I'm thinking for my new neighbors, should I play gangster rap, heavy duty like screamo metal, hardcore EDM like banjo country, or like polka dance music or something? What should I play? Normally my go-to to get people out of camp is like hardcore Memphis gangster rap, like old school 3 6 Mafia and shit like that. That's normally my go-to. Leave a comment down below. What would you play? Came over to make sure that he wasn't gonna bother me, and he offered some food. So I don't understand why there's so many other places. That all said, I might be being a little too hard on my new neighbor, even though I told him it's okay to stay here. One of the primary reasons I told him it's okay to stay here is because some of the best friends and some of the best connections I've made throughout the years have been at campsites. Granted, they were neighboring campsites. They weren't the same one all piled in, but it is what it is, man. Ultimately, this is public land. We're all out here enjoying it. You kind of go at it like that. It's public land. We're all out here enjoying it. Unless you want to fight for it. I mean, ultimately, that's how we got it as the U.S. anyway, right? If you can fight for it, by all means, do your thing, dog. Good morning. What's happening? It is day number Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. It's day number 4 of this little journey, and I should be in Flagstaff today. Yeah, waking up to a beautiful day, it looks it. Let's get up and check it out. Florida. That was way off. Florida tags. Huh. I tell you what, day 4, you boys got a little stench to them. I smell like a bag of used cans. Stink, man. I need to take a shower, so I'm gonna try to find a Planet Fitness in Flagstaff or somewhere along the way or on my route, and I'll get my workout in there too. My legs are actually just now sore from the workout I did on Monday, which is crazy. Day 4 of the dopamine detox, or dopamine deprivation rather. Day 3 was good, man. You know, the only thing I've noticed is that I'm a bit irritable. Like yesterday, I got very agitated at that road, and I've got to travel down that road again today, but I'm going to take some air out the tires. I was traveling at 28 PSI because I had road and, you know, gravel, but it is what it is. I'm going to take some air out of the tires, and then if I got to go slow, then I got to go slow. Hopefully it's not for that much longer. I'm hoping that once I get a little bit closer to the wilderness areas, then, you know, the more off beaten paths, it won't be that bad. What happens is the more the traffic travels on a dirt road like that, the more you'll have that real harsh bumpiness. But there's a couple hiking trails over here, so I'm hoping that people just kind of go to those and then leave. I don't know though. I'm gonna travel down that way. I'm gonna go around the Grand Canyon. There's an overlook that I really like to go see. It's an hour just from the main road to get down the secondary dirt road to get to it, at least. The last 5 miles of it's high clearance 4-wheel drive, so it's a little bit rougher, takes a little bit longer, so call it an hour and a half just to get down to the overlook itself. But it's a beautiful overlook over the Grand Canyon. If it is, like if I got to pass by where I turn off, then I'll go, but I don't think I'm going to make a special trip. Other than that, man, it's just kind of exploring and meandering down to Flagstaff. Kurt and Jen are going to be there either tomorrow or Friday, so I'd like to meet up with them and hang out with them for the weekend. But other than that, man, I have zero plans. So I'm going to make some coffee and then kind of get my bearings together here, and then I'm going to head on down the road. That's the current situation. You know, I was just sitting here thinking about something as I was going to get you guys from back at your last post, and my neighbor that came incredibly close last night, I may have been a little bit harsh on my man, but he said, I hope that we're not bothering you by being here. And I said, well, you're not bothering me, but there's plenty of other places to camp around here. He said, so we are bothering. And I said, no, you're not bothering me. I'm just telling you that there's plenty of places to camp around here. And then he said that they were preparing food and asked me if I wanted any, which promptly made me feel kind of like an asshole. The reason, it doesn't bother me. It's not that it bothers me. I just don't understand why in millions of square miles of wilderness would people want to park within 30, 40 feet from you, or even 100 feet. Look, there's a plethora of other places to explore. So it's not that you bother me. I don't understand. You know, if somebody were to give me some kind of really valid explanation, like if he had said, hey man, I go through some kind of crazy episodes where I need to be next to people just in case of an emergency, then I probably would have been like, oh shit, and took him under my wing and looked out for him or something. I don't know. It's not that you bothered me. I just don't understand why you want to be next to me. Most people come out here to be alone. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Almost 2 miles and it hadn't smoothed out any yet. I know it sounds crazy, but on a lot of this stuff, you kind of have to keep your speed up. Like on washboard roads, which this is a mix of washboard roads and like rocks in the middle of the road. But on washboard roads, a lot of times, you know, somewhere around the 45 to 60 mile an hour range will actually get you smoothed out a little bit. This seems to be the sweet spot is around 30. Around 30, 35 miles an hour, and it becomes tolerable. But as you can hear by all my shit clacking around, it's still bumpy. Alright, well, that looks like that would be the main trailhead that everybody's going to go hike. So, there's my neighbor. So now I bet it gets smooth after this. I'm not right every time, but a lot of times I am. And this was one of them. Dude in a badass long travel truck just came by and gave me the shreddy sign. Man, I want long travel so bad. I'm only doing 45 on this dirt road, but I could probably be doing 80 if I had long travel. I tell you what, this old man emu setup from Utah Mafia is awesome. I mean, it just soaks up these whoops and bumps and everything like that on these dirt roads. And with this particular setup, I'm still able to get the longer wheel travel, which is good for the more technical stuff, you know. Definitely check out the dudes over at Utah Mafia. Give them a call. They'll get you all set up. Tell them Sir William sent you. There's a link down in the description below. They have pre-made kits, or they'll make you one special. I present to you the Vermilion Cliffs. Pretty cool, huh? This road's a lot smoother at 60 than it is at 20. That was fun. That made up for the bullshit bumpiness that I had to deal with yesterday, for sure. Man, I love beasting around on those dirt roads when they're, you know, just right. And that's how that one was. It's a bit windy right here next to these cliffs, though, I'll tell you that. It's blowing the truck all over the place. I am just outside of Marble Canyon, and that's probably the next city that I'm going to see for a little while, until I get down to Flagstaff. Well, I like it so much out here, I decided that I'd buy some property. So I got a nice little house out here in the desert. It's a little bit of a fixer-upper, needs some work, but it's nice. Wow. Outhouse, maybe? Well, it turns out Marble Canyon is not a town. It's just a little spot right here. And there's a gas station here that charges a full-on $1 more than anybody else. So it's $5.89 a gallon right here for gas, which is crazy. The next little area that I come across is Cameron. I remember seeing signs on the road for that. So that'll probably be a little town, and probably get some gas there. Traveling through the painted desert though, so it's absolutely beautiful. $5.89 a gallon. Highway robbery. Right, back on dirt, and I tell you, it might be windier today than it's been the entire trip, which is saying a lot. But it's bad windy. This part of the trail actually reconnects back to the main road, but prior to doing that, there's a nice river overlook. Well, there's a river overlook. I would assume that it's nice. So we're gonna go check that out. I am now on the Arizona Backcountry Discovery Route. Check that out. Horses. Wild horses, I guess? I don't know if they're wild or not. Be cool if they were. That is so neat. So neat. How cool is that? Wide open spaces. Must have been where the Dixie chicks were hanging out at. Desert running, boys. a road that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends. I just started traveling on it, thinking it would come to a point, but it keeps on going and going and going, and I can't find anything that rhymes with point. Yeah, man, been on this road for quite some time. It's beautiful, and for the most part, it's well graded. One thing I will say, though, is there's been quite a few hard hits on Old Apple here, and the reason is because you'll get up to good speed, and the next thing you know, there'll be a washout, which is fairly common with roads like these. I finally made it, and from here it looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. What's crazy is it's nothing but like barren landscape that we've been driving on, right? Like barren desert landscape. But then you get to this overlook and you realize that you've been driving on layers of really cool looking rocks. Wow! Look at that. It's a bit windy up here. I'd say that was worth the drive. That's pretty similar to the overlook that I told you guys that if I passed by it, then I'd go to it. And it took probably about the same amount of time. Probably about 2 hours or so. I am just above a quarter tank of gas. I got 107 miles remaining of cruising range. So I am pushing it close yet again. Seems to be a common theme on this particular trip. Just a little bit ago I had service and I was able to look up how long and how far it would take me to get to the gas station in Cameron. It was right at 36 miles. It's going to take an hour to get there, but it was right at 36 miles. And that was using the routes that I've got to use to get there. So that is east. This is west. Just to the west of me is the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. Pretty cool, man. Let's go. I tried to get video for you guys, but it's too windy. So let me recreate what I was trying to do with my finger. There's the forerunner, okay? I was coming up through there. And then I passed by in this beautiful landscape of rocks and arches. And I think maybe petrified sand dunes is what these are. I don't know. But pretty damn cool. Rocks. Whoa, look at these like turquoise hills. Sick. I'd get an outside shot for you guys, but the wind's just blowing my camera up. So windshield shots is what it is. Well, I've gone from those nice graded dirt roads to rocks. Just driving on rocks. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but right there, there's a car down there, or a truck or something. It flew off the edge. That is not where you want to land, or how you want to land for that matter. I hope they're alright, but I just don't think that they were. You know what I mean? Alright, starting to get a little technicalities as I'm climbing up here. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. So I'm guessing that truck / car went off somewhere up there ahead of us. I was trying to figure out how that truck got down there, and I see what happened. So he was coming the opposite way of which way I'm coming, and probably had some speed about him and didn't realize that there was a cliff there and just went right off the damn edge and probably woke up dead. There ain't no way somebody make it. I don't know. I guess you could, but damn, that sucks. Watch your speed and know where you're at, know where you're going, what's happening. Wow. crazy.
Well, complete bummer and oversight on my end, but also complete pain in the ass. So here's the thing. My pass, it expired in April, and I thought that it expired in May. That's my fault. I'm at the Grand Canyon. I would go to buy another pass. They will not take American currency. They won't take cash. That's all I have because my bank is on the East Coast. So they won't take cash, which is legal tender. It says so right on the bill. Legal tender for all debts, public and private. But they won't take cash. So I can't get into the Grand Canyon. And I'm pretty pissed about it. I'm pretty pissed. And you can't call nobody. You can't talk to nobody. It's a government agency. And just like every other government agency, it's filled with incompetence and complete disarray. Like, there's nobody to talk to. Who do you talk to at the Grand Canyon? Who do you talk to? Let me talk to the manager of the Grand Canyon. You can't. You can't find nobody. You can't find anybody to help you out at any of these national parks. Every single one of them in the same way. They're complete cluster. And I'm pissed. I don't know what else to say. I may have found a solution. Looks like there is a road that runs through the forest here and then comes into the center of the park. So I'm gonna go this way. How do you not accept cash? It's a government organization. It's wild. This road sure is a lot better than the normal road that you take in, you know? There was one part back there that got pretty technical at one point. But for the most part, it's just finely graded forest road. All right, we're getting closer. This is definitely not a secret area by any means. There are people everywhere. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. Just crossed over the boundary, son. Yeah, let me pass you there, brother. Thanks there, partner. Mighty kind of you. We in like Flint, son. Saved myself $80, my friends. Hell yeah. That 80 bucks I saved could go towards an alignment. Man, I must have knocked this thing out of whack at some point today, hitting all those washouts and stuff along the backcountry route. I'm not advocating you to sneak into the park. I didn't want to sneak into the park. And you're not really sneaking in. They have the gate open. I mean, it's on, you know what I mean? So, it's just another way to get into the park. That said, I'm an advocate of paying the fees because it helps them continue their incompetence and bureaucracy and stuff, but unfortunately they won't accept what's agreed upon as American currency, so I couldn't pay. What do you want me to do? Anyway, let's go look at the Grand Canyon. Bro, if that's not the wisest looking blackbird, check him out, man. Dude's a fucking wizard of blackbirds right there. Wow. Dude's been around for a while. He's like, which one of you assholes is gonna drop a breadcrumb? Man, that was pretty badass. The Grand Canyon never disappoints. That is for sure. It's either 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. The truck says 6 o'clock. It's in Mountain Time Zone. Arizona does not, they don't do daylight savings time or the vice versa or whatever. So they're actually right now 3 hours, I believe that's how that works. It's 3 hours behind East Coast time. So it's the equivalent of Pacific Standard Time, I believe. So my phone that's connected to the internet says that it's 5 o'clock right here where I'm at in the Grand Canyon National Park. I don't know. I'm kind of confused myself. At any rate, I found a spot up north of Flagstaff that's about an hour and a half away from where I am currently, and I've got enough daylight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drive on down to that campsite and check it out and see what it has to offer. And hopefully it's good. If it is good, then Kurt and Jen and the kids are gonna meet me there tomorrow, and we'll be in Flagstaff. Well, this is a little change of scenery, huh? Pine trees. Not only are there pine trees, but it is also 50 degrees. And it's supposed to get colder. Yeah, I'm at 8,000 feet elevation, so 8,000 feet of elevation, it's 50 degrees, and it's windy. It's cold. It's cold. There ain't no doubt about it, it's cold. But your boy's hungry, and I got some pork chops need to be made. So I'll make some pork chops, make some potatoes. Let's roll. Had to switch all to the phone because the memory card and the camera got full. But it is definitely chilly, so I'm about to put on my hoodie and then put on some pants. But first I gotta do some venture wiping because your boy is stank. I was gonna do the gym and shower today, but it is already like 6 o'clock and I wanted to find a camp spot. I found a camp spot. It's sufficient enough for me, Kurt, Jen, and the van fam. So I'm happy about that. Well, box truck fam now. So they should be here either tomorrow or Friday. And yeah, man, this is a nice spot. I'm digging it. I'm not digging the cold weather. And it's been a while since I've had to deal with it. Ooh. Oh, at least I feel a little bit better. Man. Whew. Boy, I tell you. When you come from the hot back into the cold, it's especially this drastic, man. Whew. Golly. Anyway, let's go take a look at the site. Not bad, right? I think it'll do. Look at this revelation that I had on the way here, though. It's time for tires. Yeah. That guy's done data, boys. 40,000 miles, though. When they get so worn down, those nubs don't flex anymore, so they just break off. And that's what you happen. This past trip, hauling ass through the dirt roads and shit like that, that's how that happens. Stay tuned for a review on these, though. Spoiler alert, they've been excellent tires. I've got really nothing bad to say about them. Nice. Look at Macho. Man, Macho's had a makeover since the last time that we saw him. Holy cow. So Kurt, Jen, and the kids pull up at Macho here. You know, 5,500 on 40s. Big ass bot rolling around with their house on their back, you know. My man Ham, first thing he asked me this morning is, Will, why do you have such small tires? Good morning. What's happening? Welcome to the Coconino National Forest here in Flagstaff, Arizona, or outside of Flagstaff. I am seasoning up cast iron this morning because I can't get stuff to stop sticking to it. So that's the current situation, but we made it. We have made it. With you guys' help, I was able to turn a 330-mile, boring 5.5-hour drive from Moab to Flagstaff into a 4-day, 750-mile off-road overland journey where we got to do some awesome off-roading, got to go see some awesome river overlooks, rock formations, the Grand Canyon, and ultimately end up here 8,000 foot up amongst the pines in the Coconino National Forest. I hope that you guys enjoyed this journey, and I really appreciate you following along the adventures with me. Remember, there's links in the description below to all the equipment that I use, and by using those links, I do get paid a small commission that's not charged to you guys. It just kind of helps put gas in Apple for the next journey. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like it, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.